Just 140 miles from Rodrigo's farm, but apart, stands Brazil's mega city, São Paulo. São Paulo is the biggest city in South America and the largest in the southern hemisphere. With a population of more than 18 million people, it's larger than most countries. This is the industrial engine that powers Brazil's economy. But its inhabitants are at a standstill. One in 9 Brazilians live here. Twice a day at rush hour, 6 million vehicles cause gridlock, more than 150 miles long. That's why, in this city of the future, commuters have taken to the air. São Paulo has the world's fastest growing helicopter fleet and the most helicopter traffic, with around 100 liftoffs per hour. Most of the helicopters here are just taxis, ferrying fare-paying executives quickly and efficiently around the city. This is the story of one of those taxi drivers.
It was not difficult to learn to fly. I don't know if it is because when you love something, everything becomes easy. But I think that I spent from 10 to 20 hours to learn how to fly, and 80 hours to learn to get out of troubles. I always liked helicopters, and since I was a child. And when I was 16 years old, I told my father that I'd like to fly, but just as a hobby. And after my first flight, I decided that my future job, I said, no, I want to fly helicopters as a captain.
For many companies, the cost of flying is offset against having their top employees sit in traffic for half the day. Helicopter taxis make sound financial sense. Clarissa has worked as a taxi pilot for 7 years. There are only 4 female pilots in São Paulo, only a handful in the whole of Brazil, so it can be difficult for a woman to be taken seriously in this profession. Especially when new clients see how young she looks. But Clarissa is unfazed. She's already planning the next step in her career. She wants to pass a more advanced pilot's license so she can fly in zero visibility.
I'm studying now to fly IFR rules, so I'll be able to fly in adverse weather conditions. So I don't have to use my visual to know my bearings.
If she passes, then Clarissa will be able to fly much bigger helicopters, opening the door to a job with the military or on Brazil's offshore oil rigs. Like a confused octopus. This metropolis has 3 times the population of other cities its size, resulting in a huge density of skyscrapers. Most new buildings over 10 stories have helipads. Clarissa must be able to identify each one from call signs and symbols. Every night between 7 and 10, Clarissa attends class. Like 4 million other students in Brazil trying to make ends meet, she also works full-time. She uses every spare moment to study, especially since work is quieter than home.
It's difficult to revise when my sister is not at school. Gostou? Ficou legal? Fiquei bonita? She's 11 years old and she always wants to talk to me something. É rímel novo aquilo. Then I have to go to my mom's room, then I close the door, then I can get concentrated to learn.
Clarissa has to do complex calculations in her head. Airspeed, ground speed, wind speed. It's demanding stuff.
I don't think that there are another woman doing this kind of test. I don't think so.
To ensure Clarissa can fly safely by instruments alone, the first part of the exam takes place in a simulator. What makes it twice as hard is that the simulator is set up like a light aircraft, not the helicopter control she's used to. The second part is even more nerve-wracking. A test flight with an examiner. Pass this, and her life will change for good. Clarissa has walked out through this hangar 1,000 times, but today she must fly in a way she's never done before. As they rise above the city, the procedure is so familiar that Clarissa is almost on autopilot herself. But as the streets of Sao Paulo reveal themselves, all of her studying suddenly clicks in. But will it be enough? Clarissa returns to the hangar. She has no idea how it went. The next day, the results are posted at Sao Paulo's main airport. Clarissa adds her scores. She passed with flying colors. "300 miles away in Rio, would-be samba dancer Luciana is preparing for a test of a different kind.